not sure, how does that get missed? I guess I don't understand. How does 60 hours get missed? I don't understand that. I mean, it's a payroll issue. Does that mean somebody didn't get, and I'm speaking as a layman,
Yeah.
so bear with me here. Does that mean that they didn't get paid for their overtime when they should have gotten paid? So I'm not a finance guy, so I'm trying to understand how that.
It happened on the
missed.
department level. The department was busy and short-staffed, and they were cobbling together information, and there were a couple of employees that for some reason didn't get calculated into the payroll for that week.
I guess I don't know how do they submit? Do they submit? Do they punch a clock?
Yeah, that's exactly what they do.
All right, so they punch a clock and it gets missed. I'm just, it's tough for me to grasp. I know if
That time card is a manual time card that gets put on someone's desk, a clerk in the DPW office. The DPW clerk takes those time cards, two of them end up between a piece of paper or underneath something, and they don't get processed. There's no ill intent. Sometimes it just
I'm
happens.
not saying there's ill
Sometimes
intent.
it
I'm
just
just trying to
happens.
figure out how.
Just happens.
Because, if we don't sign the warrants by Friday morning, there's, you can't say that, oh, they got missed. I get a call,
It's not your fault.
I went down. So I don't have a grasp of it. I mean, it just sounds like a huge oversight to me. And if I was the employees, I'd be going crazy because I'm losing.
My guess is that's probably how it was highlighted. Someone didn't get their overtime and their pay, and questioned the clerk and said, "Hey, how come it?" Well, I don't know. Let me
You go find the
Let me
card.
go find out. Where's the card? Let's find the card. Here it is. Okay, it'll be in your next pay period.
That's it.
I mean, so they take care of it. They correct it. I mean, we've had other issues, obviously, with payroll. In other departments.
There's no ill intent here.
No. But it's as far as from an internal control standpoint, and there's got to be better ways of mechanizing this thing and electronically.
We agree.
Handle
We
it
agree.
in times. But we're getting there. We've come a long way in the last few years technologically, and we still have a way to go. And this is a portion of what needs to be improved. And, but as far as, someone's not getting their overtime for that particular week, I mean, that's not a significant number of hours, considering the number of people, whatever the event was. It's just someone's time cards got misplaced, and they get paid the next time period, and that's why it was in there.
Seems like we're working with something a procedure we've done in 1955, and this is 2012.
Probably close to that. Good analogy.
We agree.
Okay, thank you.
We had the money to solve all the problems all at once, Jeff, we'd solve them all at once, but
Yeah.
we don't. And I think if we go back over the past 10 years, significant improvements have made in technology and efficiencies associated with the way the town does things. And this is, if we don't have electronic time cards that report back to the Munis system,
Right.
maybe that's something that should be on the list. It may be on the bottom of the Munis list. I don't know where it fits, but it's something that, you're right, should be changed.
I thank you, Greg, for all the time and effort you put into this to help us understand it and clarify it. And in corrective action, thank you.
Thank you.
So, we have a motion, Mr. Prisco.
Yep. Mr. Chairman, I move to declare a snow and ice emergency in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 44, Section 31D for FY 2012.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Prisco, seconded by Mr. O'Leary.
I have one thing before you
Further
vote.
discussion.
Further discussion, thank you. So, you'd mentioned management. Are you asking us to give you some direction, or are you just going to take direction on it?
I'm going to take direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I didn't know if we owed you something, so I
No.
just wanted to make sure.
No, but
I'm
you
all
rest
set.
assured we'll
All
keep an eye on
in
it.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Okay. It's 4-1. Next item on our agenda is to discuss the employee incentive program. Is that you leading, or Mr. Bellicon?
It's Mr. Prisco's proposal.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I mean, I think I did a lot of the speaking at the last time this topic came up, and we all were supposed to take some homework assignments and go back and then get it back on the agenda, so we didn't let it kind of fall into our inbox as we have budgets coming forward. We try to address it before then, and I'm glad it's back on the agenda. So, I mean, Greg did send comments out to the board, and I did read them, and I'm not sure if other board members have done some research and maybe want to share it, so I don't know how you want to go about doing it, Bob.
Well, I think that, now, looking at Greg's comments and thinking about programs that I've been involved with, and thinking of what was done in the past, I'm kind of in a quandary. Because I think that the program in the past and the amount of the reward was tiny. You know, and I could see where that kind of a program would flutter out pretty quick, and obviously I think it did. Right?
It did.
Do you want Greg to? Okay.
Well, let me finish.
No, that's fine. I thought you were done, I'm sorry.
In the programs in the private sector that I participate in, companies that I work for, generally the rewards were significant, but the accomplishments were also significant. So I think there's got to be some kind of a, you got to ask what this is all about, right? Is this a measurable cost saving? Over what period of time? And how do you take that and relate it to a reward? Do you do it as a percentage of the cost saving over some fixed period of time? That's one way of doing it. Or do you have these just little recognition rewards, or what we heard, you weren't there, but we heard the, was it captain of the
Yep.
ship there?
Asperoff or something?
Yeah, where he was just handing out these little medals every time someone did something good, and, well, the medal wasn't worth very much in terms of its physical entity, but it did provide some long-term benefits to the employees based on the fact that they received these medals. I don't know, I'm trying to open up a discussion and get some ideas flowing, that's why I'm bringing this up.
Yeah, I mean, I took down some notes from our last discussion. But, I went back and did some thinking about it as well. And the reason I brought it forward, just recapping a little bit to maybe try to stimulate this conversation forward, is we really do need to make a change, okay? We have to, for one, earn the respect of the employees. And I'm still not sure that's there. I had the opportunity to go present the strategic plan to Greg's department heads. And this was a big discussion. They brought it up. We talked about it quite a bit. And there really isn't a meaningful way, or there isn't anything in place today that motivates anybody to do anything more than what they do today. And if we could have a subjective system, so when you have someone like a Heidi Griffin that goes out on her own and gets a grant that brings in several $100,000s or tens of thousands of dollars, that does something good for this town, and it really falls out the scope of her regular day job, then you should have a program that recognizes that. And that's why I'd said, let's put aside some money with discretion by the board, what we want to elect to give. In some cases, we only give $100. Maybe some cases we'll give $1,000. If there is a massive cost savings because of this efficiency that's brought forward, but we don't have those mechanisms in place today. And that's why I wanted to have this discussion, because we need to invest in the employees, okay, so they feel vested in North Reading, in making North Reading better. We need to create an environment for them to feel that they have the ability to do well, and it gets recognized, and it gets sent up the chain, and there's some ways and means to invest in that. Go ahead, please.
I'm in favor of the concept, but I don't think our focus can just be cost savings, because there's
No,
a lot of
I
positions
agree.
in town that just the nature of the job itself doesn't lend itself to a cost savings. It could be based upon the performance or whatever it may be.
Yeah, that's
Someone
why I
in
wrote
the-
it up that way. It's different. It's
Someone,
not just
a
cost
clerk
savings.
in the finance department, I don't know if they're gonna have a cost savings. A clerk in the town clerk's office, it's not necessarily gonna have a cost savings, but it's performance-based, customer service-based. I think it has to cover a wide variety of things and just not cost savings. And I think that whatever the award is, I think it has to be standard across the board, not something that's nominal, but I think whether it's cost savings or performance, based upon performance, I think it has to be a standardized sort of award, because I think it'd be difficult to award someone greater for cost savings versus customer service performance. I don't know how anyone else feels.
You have to have some subjectivity in the process. So, I think that's what you're saying, right?
You do.
Because the way I wrote that up, and I sent it all to you, is the customer service, outstanding performance, cost-saving initiatives, and/or innovative solutions. So, yeah, if you do have somebody that just consistently, we get feedback on this outstanding customer service, that goes above and beyond what they get paid to do every day, then they should be recognized. And maybe in those cases, it is a smaller reward, and where you have someone that brings an innovation to this town to fix how the heck we do IT in this town, because the way we've been doing it isn't working. And if we can get somebody to bring that to the table that's above and beyond what they normally do, then, and it's great for everybody, then there's an area where we can sit around this table and say, you know what, that person brought something that's, look at what it's saving us for efficiencies and so on and so forth. We may say, let's elect $1,000. But if we want to do the same program we did last time, then I'm not going to vote for it, because it didn't work. And I'm not a believer in doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result, because that's just the definition of insanity. And so, but I think, again, like I said, the last time we talked about this, first, we have to decide as a board, do we want to embrace an employee recognition program? If the answer is yes, then we should really put this, let's go to work and get it done. I think we haven't done that yet. I don't know where everybody is on this.
Mr. Chair?
Ms. Steele?
Yes, thanks for the homework. I did give a lot of thought into this, because I think when we're talking about our employees, I think they deserve our attention. I prefer the approach that the TA suggested in his email, that the Employee Appreciation Day is the most important approach that we could take. I'm not a fan of pitting, for lack of a better word, employees against each other. The problem with a program, Mike, that you're suggesting here, and I appreciate the intent of it, but the problem is it does exclude many people, and it rewards only one or a few. In my experience with the committees that I have worked with, there have been employees involved in those committees. And the money that we're being saved, and you can take Wayne Hardiker, look how much he saved with the schools on our behalf. Barbara Stats, what she does at her job, John Welsh, Ms. Hanson, Heidi Griffin. They all do a spectacular job, and you have to say to yourself, well, how do we distinguish one doing a better job than the other? I think we have an employee base that know that they are hired to do a job as best as they possibly can, and that comes with their job description. And for us to say to somebody that they did a better job than somebody else, I don't think that's a fair thing to do, though the intent may be good. We can recognize, I think at the schools, what they do is they have Teacher of the Month. And all they do is they put a picture of the teacher and some things that they did, and no matter who goes to school that month, they will see that teacher recognized, because everybody has to pass that corridor. And that's a simple thing, but it's rewarding, okay? The other thing